What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat, and we're here at the Nerd Castle with the next episode of Gnomoria. In the previous episode, we'd had a little bit of combat, beat a guy to death with a wheelbarrow, and then promptly used it to haul beer across our campus, or across our society. Greatest culture ever that has to carry its beer around in wheelbarrows. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Down here you can see that some of our crafting goods are getting done, and I think I am going to work on the storage solutions down in here to make this wood storage room a little bit better. Although it does seem a little bit cruel housing dead trees inside the bodies of their fallen comrades. That does seem slightly humorous to me. And so we'll go ahead and put pine crates in there, give them something to work on. And you know what? I forgot to cut. I remember now. I forgot to cut clippings from these, which is why they're having trouble planting the fields now. Before I did that manually, there was also another goblin attack while I was sitting here allowing things to run for a little bit. This little guy came in over here and then was promptly like one-shotted by Mr. Cuddlesworth. It was pretty crazy. Mr. Cuddlesworth was no joke up in that ass. It was brutal. It was brutal. It was hard to look at. I was like, damn, run away, goblin. Ooh, you can just have some of my stuff, goblin. I mean, it ain't worth this. I mean, I feel bad. It's my stuff you're trying to steal, and I feel bad about the ass whooping that you're getting. Making me feel. I'm feeling the pain right now. I feel like I'm getting chapped from it, so if you guys are following me, it's not a good day to be a goblin in the kingdom of Nompton. We definitely rolled out hard. They finally got this second ambassadorial, I suppose, cavern done, or this little room, this domicile. And so we still have one of them here. So one of the ambassadors has decided to stay, unless she departed recently. Did she? Or is she sleeping? Wait, what? Well, the last time I checked, one of our ambassadors was still here. There she is. She's eating. She's draining our food stocks because that's how people from the Rag Kingdom apparently roll. To come to your house and eat up all your food. Everybody has that friend who's just like, hey man, are these strawberries anybody's? And be like, yeah, they're mine. Get away. Go away. Shoo. Get the hell on out of here. Let's see here. We're going to go with cut clippings from some of these orange trees down in here because I do want to get that orange grove going pretty soon. Never hurts to diversify your stocks. Got plenty of time to do the crops over here. So nothing to worry about. We got about 9 days left. I think we'll get one more harvest in possibly before winter gets here. You will also note that Mr. Cuddlesworth has himself a new suit of armor. He's looking actually pretty stylish right now. Handlebar mustache. That's pretty much one of the things you need to be a badass. Bronze armor. One of the things you need to be a badass within the confines of the Gnomoria universe. And then he's also got like this little sheep herder's hat that I think actually kind of adds to the mystique. He's also got one eye missing, which normally if I saw somebody with one eye missing, I'd be like, yeah, you lost that fight. That wouldn't be impressive to me, but given the combination of handlebar mustache, eye missing, and also head accessory, cranial accessory, I feel like he's pretty much hit all the points you need to hit that kind of scream, I am a badass warrior that kills bears with my bare hands. And I wasn't trying to be punny right there. That was actually completely and totally accidental. I wish you could see me wincing right now. Let's make a grove. It just runs from like there to there. Make it nice and nice and thin and skinny. And it'll be an orange grove, and we'll get that planted whenever they have the time. They should have enough to get that done. I think it was like a 4 by like 16 or so, which would put them in the realm of like 64 units. Yeah, that'll work out okay. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. And so I think I want to, I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss for what I want to work on right this second. I should probably get them back to training. In all honesty, this seems like a waste of time. Never hurts to have a few more points of fighting skill. Oh good, it clears out your schedule for you too. That's good. Awesome, and so that saves us a little bit of time as well. We have a monitor lizard hanging out. Why don't they chase down the monitor lizard? That is the weirdest thing. It's only the honey badger that they're just like, I smell badger on the breeze. And their eyes like go whooshing down like anime style, and they got like that flowing background going where it's like moving in one direction. Oh, we've also got another cow we need to kill. Sorry, bud, it's just not your day. So let's go ahead and set these up for butchery. We've got all those corpses that need to go. We've also got the yak pasture. We'll get rid of the top yak because that's the new one, and the old guy's got his seniority, and so he's got himself vetted a little bit. Not in terms of just our veterinarial work, but he's got himself vetted in the sense that he's been around for a while, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll just allow him to keep on breeding and doing his thing so long as he keeps producing offspring. Bronze bars down here. We're doing a pretty good job on the bronze bars. How are we looking on ore? We're still looking really good on ore, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and get started on how many bronze armor plates. Let me take a look and do a head count here. We got 15, so we can do 7 plates right now, and that leads me to think that I should go 2 bronze helmets, and we'll get those started. And once those are all done, I'm going to focus on doing weapons last. That's just basically the way that I like to do. There's like a haunted bandage floating around. What in the hell? You guys saw that? I saw that. There was a haunted bandage. What in... Alright, so we've got a sentient bandage floating around our domicile. I'm not going to kill it because I don't feel like killing sentient things is a good idea. Probably bad for the old karma sheet. At the same time, how much meat are we going to have left over once we get done down here? By the way. Probably a bit. Well. Oh, that's right. We told them to keep making poot. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. I'm going to guess that's because she eats too much meat and then becomes flatulent. And so we've just named her Poot, just to let everybody know what's going on. I'm going to say making any sausage is going to be perfectly acceptable down here. We'll just have that on repeat. We should make ourselves some meat beer. I don't know why that's not an option, but we should make that an option, some bacon beer. That sounds absolutely terrible, but I would drink it just in the cause of just righteous manly endeavors. I think I would still just kind of... AKA also known as righteous stupid endeavors. There's always, anytime somebody, you should always think about that whenever somebody uses the phrase manly. Like, you should also kind of take a look at the activity and be like, yeah, that is also stupid. Because I found that there's like an 80% overlap in between activities that are inherently manly and stupid. There's definitely like an overlap right there of things that should be attempted and should not be attempted. I didn't realize we had so many things to butcher. I'm kind of excited right now. There's orange wine being crafted, the beer is flowing, we've got ourselves lots of fruit and meat and all kinds of fun stuff to eat. And so I think in the effort of ending this kind of accidental rhyming spree... Another cotton crop coming in. It's a good day to live in Gnomoria. It is a pleasant day. The bandages are refilling after our big battle with the badger that almost beat us down to the... bevel? I don't know, I was looking for another word that was alliterative and I just kind of ran out of things. Let's go ahead and pan down to this layer and figure out what it is that we want to do. We've got plenty of tradables now ready to go for whenever the next guy arrives. I'm actually going to take that off, and we'll just call that a repeat for right now. I don't know how much birch we have. I don't really care, because the only thing I ever use birch for anyways is making tradables, and so we'll just make a bunch of puzzle boxes. I think the large majority of these puzzle boxes are probably going to be poorly crafted right now. I don't think we have anybody that's absolutely excelsior at creating objects of trade, but every little bit helps. I think we should probably be able to get another trader in before the end of this year, especially since the Rag Kingdom's been hanging out with their general purpose goods. Let's also get back to building terrain down here. We're actually going to call this replace floor, and I forget which one it was that we used. Was it decorative? It was decorative stone floor. So let's go ahead and get our deco floors rocking one more time, so we can make our grand hall more valuable. I know there's probably some overlap between what I'm replacing right here, but it's alright. It's going to be looking pretty good by the time we get it done. It's going to be looking nice. It's going to be looking mighty, mighty nice. The other thing we might consider is maybe making... Let's cancel this. And make like 4 birch statues. 1 for each corner. And then once those are all nice and done, that'll increase the value pretty nicely. Great Hall is up to $13.90. Now, I'm going to be careful about this. With all the armor that we've been crafting, we do want to be careful. If we accidentally mastercraft a helmet or something right now, it could actually screw us pretty hard and bring on an Age of Ogre invasions, which would be bad, I think. But for now, I would hope to avoid going above 16,000, which, while we're way outside the chance of that happening right now, all it takes is like 2... Let's say that we accidentally mastercraft a table, and then we accidentally like mastercraft 2 helmets right afterwards. It kind of has the propensity to... You remember back in old MMOs how if somebody got an accidental crit? Back in like the 2002 EverQuest, back when EverQuest was still fun anyways. Before they ruined it with a million expansions. I remember back in the day, it was like a rogue would accidentally crit like 1 time, and it was like, that's it, aggro was done. You were never getting aggro back ever again. And magicians or something used to do it too back in the day. It was just bad. It was all around bad. Well, you can kind of do that in this game, and there's our first statue. Is it poorly crafted? A birch, it wasn't. It was actually well crafted. That's good. The other thing we should probably think about making is a jeweler or something so that we can start making use of some of those sapphires and emeralds that we have laying around. I don't know specifically what we need for gem work. Like, let's take a look at the gem cutter, and we just need a cutting wheel. That's actually not that difficult to supply. So let's go for it. We're going to put it in here with the rest of our metalworking supplies and whatnot. And once that's ready to roll, I think that'll give us another unique thing to trade as we'll start making ourselves like some gem necklaces. Maybe some rings and some things like that, because we do have a silver supply, as I recall, around here somewhere. I think it was up over here, but we may have grabbed it out of the walls already. Let's mine this out. And we're going to get going on finding some metal one more time, because I do feel like we're not running low, but it's never a bad thing to make sure that you have people out and about, making sure that things happen as they occur. How is this going down here? We've got the 4 bronze plates that have been made. We've got the 2 helmets, needs padding and leather. Okay, so those are probably well on their way too. And then once we get the helmets done, everything after the helmets and the chest piece doesn't take that much metal. And so we can give them like 2 boots, 2 greaves, 2 gloves, 2 vambraces, 2 pauldrons, and then from there, as you can tell, there's a lot of metal working to be done as the game stands right now. The developer has gone out of his way to make sure that anybody that's replacing gear does like a quantitative check throughout the course of the entire map and just like, hey, that helmet over there is brown and therefore it is better than this helmet that is orange. And so based on color, they should be able to just kind of pick it up and make sure that everything's working the way you want it to be. And I think everybody else is probably going to be stuck just with massive trade skill queues right now, and that's going to be the reason why we're not seeing a whole lot of things getting done. Built ourselves what looks like a workbench right there. A birch workbench, which I swear that I can say that word right now. Yeah, everybody's just busy as hell right now. Just lots of stuff going on. I'm going to cancel that job out for the moment. Just kind of do this slowly because increasing the kingdom worth isn't something that you want to focus on until mid-game anyways, where you're really just exploding your kingdom worth overnight. You haven't got a second trader just yet. Should probably come up with some kind of location to store all this excess stuff, like bones and whatnot too. So let's go ahead and do that. Make like a big stock room right here. Well, that's not that big. Another stock room, I guess would be a better way to put it. Cool, jeweler's all nice and done here. And so I may take that out for a test drive and just kind of see what we can do with jewelry. I think you can just make necklaces, like you can make pendants, you can make rings, and you can make something else. Right now all we have is the carver. And so what the gem cutter is going to do is cut a gem. I thought we had raws. Oh, I sold them, that's right. I sold them because I didn't have the facilities to make use of them. Kind of a disappointing discrepancy in my better judgment, but that's alright. Get torches going down here, making sure that we don't have any darkness so that nasty beasties and baddies don't come bubbling up from the depths. And they do bubble, believe me, they bubble. I don't know if it's because they just ate too much cheese or what they did, but for whatever reason, they're kind of slavering, but at the same time, the drool takes on kind of a St. Bernard consistency where it's very like thick and gross and it bubbles. And so when the enemies come up, they are definitely bubbling at that point and definitely badly bathed as well, continuing our concourse of bees. I don't actually think we got that much metal out. Well, we got a little bit out. It'll be okay. And then on this floor, we need to get back to mining out some of this copper, too. Increasing our supply for future generations. Alright. I'm pretty happy with where we're at right now. We still have that haunted bandage floating around. I don't know what's up with that. Apparently we pissed off like the god of blood or something like that, and it's just like, band-aids just floating around our kingdom. No clue. I don't recall this game being, like, having this many bugs the last time. I've played this game for a lot of time, like hundreds of hours between here and Desura, and I've never had as many bugs as in this playthrough. It would figure the one time I turn on a camera, that's going to be the time I probably echo the developer's thoughts here too. It figures. The one time it gets recorded for an audience, there's going to be loads and loads of bugs. The weirdest thing. I should probably build some of these statues down in here. So there it is. We've got ourselves some statues. And the next thing that I'd like to do is ensure that we have tables and things going down and through here. But at the moment, I'm willing to bet our birch supply is probably a little bit lackluster. Oh, we only have birch right now. We don't have any pine left at all. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get to work then, felling some of these trees out here. I don't want to do too much, but we'll do that right there. I think that's going to be achievable by the end of the episode. Cotton crop is back in. The wheat crop is back in. This may be the last. No, we got our another crop at like the first day of fall, so we may get another one. It's tough to tell. It's tough to tell sometimes, but we definitely have winter coming. I'm hoping the Rag Kingdom swings back by so that I can buy some bonus food. I can buy some bonus drinks just to make sure that before anything else, before the winter gets here, because our crops stop growing in winter. I know I mentioned that in a previous episode, but your crops stop growing once winter gets here, which can be a major problem. People can start starving off. I don't think we're directly at risk of that happening with the way our kingdom's going right now. We obviously have a pretty large field of trees that we can make use of right there. We've got another large orchard right here. And so worst case scenario is we can go out and we can just kind of harvest all this stuff. But as of right now, I think we're going to have to assign some new farmers too. I'm starting to see a bottleneck right there. So once we get a little bit further down the line, I should probably, that's another thing to be thought about, is I should probably go to this place right here. And as soon as they get done mining, I should start making some more pickaxes, some more lumber axes, and some more of those other things that are useful to have around. That might be another reason why a lot of people aren't doing the prospective jobs that I've been giving them, is because we only have 2 of each tool. Hadn't really thought about that till right now. I think somebody mentioned it in the comments back a couple episodes ago, but you know, I read the comments and then, I don't know, my brain dumps really, really fast. It's basically, my brain is constantly just out of Imodium. It's always just using those little chocolate bars that give you mental diarrhea, and so that leaves me where I am right now. It looks like this ore vein is really going to treat us well. It's been good to us thus far, and I think it's going to retain. I think over the course, Copper kind of came to us in the dead of the night, and Copper was like, you know what, man? You are super awesome here at Nompton. You and the NCE, I really appreciate you, and so here, just touch me, have me. Take whatever you will from me. And I was like, you know what, Copper? That's really nice of you. And Copper was like, yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I know I'm your favorite element, and you're always talking about me. I know. And so the gods of Copper have decided to favor you and come together. What does this store? Like everything? Goods. Oh, it only holds wood and crafts. Okay. So I think it's probably going to be a good idea to designate this as a stockpile. And we'll call this a stockpile. Call it a stockpile for hides. We'll call it a stockpile for bones, skulls. We'll call it a stockpile for... not straw. I think that's gonna kind of take it too far. We'll call it for just about everything. Everything like extra that we haven't taken care of so far. And then I think that'll be alright. Put some crates and stuff in there later on. And it'll work out. It'll totally work out. I swear it will. And there, the Haunted Bandage is continuing to follow Smash Nasty around. Clean your boo-boos right now. The haunt of the bandage. Your spectral bleeding must be taken care of. That's how I imagine the Haunted Bandage would sound if it had a mouth. Luckily, it doesn't have a mouth, so it just kind of floats around in kind of a haunting sense. People have gotten used to it, though. It's like one of those strange things where people in Nompton, they don't even worry about it anymore. They're just like, oh, there goes the bandage. They've named it and everything. Its name is Larry, in case you were wondering. Alright, and so now that we have a stockpile, we can get back to work, like butchering out all those things that we had. What can I do with leather, by the way? I can make cuirasses and things like that. Yeah, I understand that we can make those. But is that really all that I can make out of those? I guess it must be tradable, because I don't see myself needing that many goodies. Obviously, this must be done down here, because I see people doing normal work again. Lumberjacking is going pretty well. Ah, there's the first helmet right there. It appears as though Mr. Cuddlesworth has taken the first bronze helmet. Looking pretty badass if I do say so myself. I am hoping that in the future they change the models so that each armor looks unique of the others. Not necessarily, maybe just the helmets. If they made just the helmets look unique, I'd be happy. And we can make helmets out of the skulls of our enemies. That is something that I am going to be doing in the later game. I'm going to make sure that every single person that's around has a skull helmet. Like our general workers, they're all going to be walking around in bone armor so as to terrify the enemy and kind of remind them that we are not to be messed with. We make armor out of your bones and then we make sausage out of your flesh. So don't roll into Nompton because you have no idea the types of horrors that are just waiting for you here. I'm seeing a new era of crates being crafted, which is going to be pretty fun. So this stockpile should be pretty well endowed soon enough. Which I'm sure... Oh, a legendary wheat beer. Let's go have a look. The Wretched Poisoner. That would not be... If I had made a... I guess it could be ironically named, but the Wretched Poisoner. Not the name that I would go for if I was trying to market a beer. Like if I had a brewery, Wretched Poisoner would not be what I would go for. That seems like it would be one of those things that would run sort of perpendicular to selling your product. I don't see myself looking at a menu and you going, you know what? Wretched Poisoner. I will take a pint of your Wretched Poisoner Pilsner. That sounds absolutely amazing right now. If there was one thing I was craving. I put metal down in there for some reason. I actually need to be better about the way that I'm designating stockpiles. So let's go to the stockpile over here, and this is going to add to our hauling queue, but we're going to call this a metal and gem stockpile. Metal, gem, and coal. And we're going to take it off the list for this down here. This needs to be just stone. There we are. So we'll just call that stone for now. And then it'll work out. Everything will be amazing. It'll work out to the point where it has amazing pecs. It's been doing it at Zopman's. So having been worked out, it also has just amazing biceps and triceps. Just a lot of things to be jealous of here. And I think I'm going to cut this episode a little short because I am feeling as though I'm running out of things to talk about. And so my better LP, my sixth sense for making LPs is telling me this might be the time to break it off before it gets boring. So my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the Nerd Castle for another episode in Nompton. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow in the next episode. How you do, everybody?